This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. Master the Guitar Fretboard by Vreny Van Elslande. Introduction. Would you like to reach the level where you can effortlessly play or learn anything new on the guitar in only minutes? How would you feel if you could strut around a stage, or your living room for that matter, seeing the eyes of your friends glued to you in utter disbelief as they hear you whip out one amazing guitar riff or solo after another? Imagine someone stepping up to you after hearing you play guitar on one of your shows to tell you that he's a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, has seen Stevie Ray Vaughan live 3 times, and still thinks you were even better. Have you ever wondered what it might feel like to have reached the point where you absolutely love the sound and beauty of everything that pours out of your fingertips any time you lay your hands on the guitar? I know firsthand how those experiences feel, but there really are no words to express the otherworldly joy, satisfaction, accomplishment, happiness, pride, and self-confidence you'll feel during those experiences. Those musical experiences I described all have one thing in common. They happen when you know your fretboard superbly well. Can you become a really good guitarist without learning the fretboard? Answer: yes, you can. But you would be even better if you knew where to find all the notes on the neck. When you master your fretboard, you suddenly find that you barely ever hit any wrong notes anymore. Your accuracy improves. Your performances get better. You learn songs way faster than you ever could before, and it all seems so easy. You suddenly find that you can memorize songs, solos, new scales, chord progressions, or melodies pretty much instantly, because your fretboard knowledge gives a name to all the sounds that make up the solo, melody, or song you're learning. Music theory suddenly becomes something you no longer struggle with or take forever to understand. You see it all instantly applied to the guitar neck when you know your fretboard. Connections you were never aware of before, for example between different scales, or different parts of music theory, or between chords and scales, etc., suddenly openly reveal themselves because you understand how note relationships are the fabric that connect everything there is to know about music. You start to notice that people at your shows regard you differently and react to you and your performance differently. They seem more impressed, more starstruck, more in a trance by the music you are playing. All this is because of the charisma you now exude when you walk on stage feeling totally in control instead of feeling nervous and insecure, which people subconsciously pick up on and have a sixth sense for. I am, of course, not claiming here that you will never be nervous again in any musical performance situation when you know your fretboard well. It's perfectly possible that certain specific musical situations or new musical experiences might give you the butterflies, but at least you will go into these situations with the stronger sense of security and stability that comes with really knowing your instrument. So what does that even mean? Mastering your fretboard. It means that you know blindly, effortlessly, instinctively, and without having to give it any thought, the name of every note on every fret for each of the 6 strings. Knowing means not having to think or search anymore. If you still, even for only a split second, need to think, you still have work to do, there is still room for improvement on your fretboard knowledge. You don't have to think to tell me how much 5 plus 4 is, and you shouldn't have to think when I ask you where the note A is on the D string. Learning scales, chords, or guitar solos without knowing the fretboard well is like putting the cart in front of the horse. Have you ever tried to learn a new scale, finding out that it took you a long time to learn or remember all the fingerings of that scale? Through tough, boring, endless rote memorization repetitions, sheer willpower, and self-discipline, you eventually started to remember each finger pattern after days of practicing that scale. It's an uphill battle. But guess what? It takes so much less time and it is so much easier to remember scale fingerings When you set out to first memorize your...
Para seguir escuchando este audiolibro gratuitamente, haz clic en el enlace de la descripción y podrás escucharlo completo sin coste gracias a la prueba de 30 días de Audible.